This particular video is purely about Matt Nagy after the abysmal loss to Green Bay. I'm going to make a separate video for the Green Bay, talking about my night, how it started, how I felt, what I saw. But I was watching Matt Nagy's press conference. Matt Nagy's press conference. Today's press conference. I think for weeks we've gone on and on and on talking about, oh, there's going to be changes in Chicago's. This whole year's been, oh, Nick Foles has come in. We beat Atlanta. We got a real quarterback, which I knew better. There were several of those throws that should have been intercepted. Then there was games where we hung in there in the Saints. Then there was the Tampa Bay game. The Tampa Bay game showed me that I was like, wow, we're a good team despite coaching, despite our offensive line, despite Nagy version 2.0 of the playbook. And guys, I'm a diehard Bears fan. You hear my accent. I am not from Chicago. I'm not even from the North. I'm a Tennessee guy, and I've loved Chicago since I was little. I bought this shirt on Facebook. It was somebody made it. My two favorite things in this world, besides my dog, but Kiss and the Chicago Bears. And I feel almost disgraced wearing it after a loss to Green Bay. I almost kind of want to make it a theme that I wear my horror shirts like Jason Freddy, all that stuff. I want to make it a theme that I wear those on the days that we lose. But I want to talk about Matt Nagy and what I see in this press conference. In this particular press conference, he dogs the defense. He never does that. This is the BU guy. This is the we're going to handle things behind closed doors. I saw on Twitter, this guy said that one of his friends works the sidelines in Green Bay. And he was talking about how when Mitch Trubisky took the field, the defense just talked shit about him the whole time. When you listen to this 20-minute of Matt Nagy talking about how we need to find ourselves and calling out the defense, we pay the defense a lot of money. Eddie Jackson got re-signed. Kyle Fuller making money. Danny T making money. Khalil Mack took our first round picks and is making money. Robert Quinn's making money. When you have most of your money on the defensive side of the ball, you don't lay down. You don't lay down. And this I'm a nice guy mentality, I think it's finally reared its head to Matt Nagy. Last night after the Packers game, a reporter finally was asking hard questions. We've been watching all year, guys. We've been watching them dodge questions about the linemen. Well, last night, Nagy, do you feel like your job is in jeopardy? Even right here, even in this one right here, he got asked that off the bat. You worry about being fired? And Nagy's like, well, it's a part of the business, and all I can do is make sure that everybody's accountable for, and they've got pride into themselves. He talked about pride a lot. There's two things that I think happened. Either the team wants this man fired, and it seems like there's two teams. The offense likes Matt Nagy, and the defense doesn't. They have every right to be. Even whenever you hear Kyle Long talk on Twitter, it's almost like Matt Nagy boasts about himself because he had that one year, that first year, Coach of the Year. But I'm seeing Matt Nagy pissed off. One thing we also got to remember, guys, is I know this guy's a fiery coach. I know he is. And I think he's learning. He's learning as he's going, man. He's a young man. Could this be the change in Matt Nagy that makes him a good coach? I'll get to that in just a moment. They also asked him a question. Man, these reporters were on it. They said, when we see Green Bay scheming some of their players open, why don't we see that? Matt Nagy's response is, well, I'm not going to get into that right now. I also want you guys to know, like I said, I'm going to talk about the Green Bay game on a different video, so be sure to check into that. But I'm looking in the eyes of a man that went off on a few people last night. I'm looking in the eyes of a man and hearing a man that knows his defense just, that's why he's calling them out. He's like, guys, we got a shitty offense. But you guys have where all the resources have went. We can't even re-sign Allen Robinson. If we're going to the playoffs, we're going because of our defense. That's what I hear on this interview. And by the way, I'm for firing Matt Nagy. I am. I'm not behind closed doors. I would like to know why we're not scheming people open. I don't like the BU mentality. But here's what I'm hoping. He's saying people should be up all night worried about this. That people that are at home practicing on their own, watching tape on their own, hey, you need to start doing more. You need to do more. If he's angry, this could be the turning point in this coach's career. I think, when you're first, he's become coach, he's trying to figure it out. He's like, I was a player for a long time. I want a coach that's going to treat me like I want to be treated. But maybe not every player put in the work like Matt Nagy. Guys, he's learning it. So I give him that much salt. I still think if there's another coach available, he should be fired. But we're going to find out. They haven't fired him yet. I'm sure after the game, him and Ryan Pace was on a long phone call. I'm sure of it. Okay. But here I am as a Bears fan going, this. But what am I wanting to change? We're not going to the fucking playoffs. That's over, guys. And what do we want to do? Win out and have bad draft picks? I want to know why we're not seeing Gibson on the field. I want to know why we're not seeing some of these edge rushers. I want to know on third down, why was it Robert Quinn out there? I want to know who's telling Eddie Jackson to take plays off. This gloating after big hits and things like that, and if you don't get the ball thrown your way, you're going to pout. That's the coach. And that's a look of a man right there. Well, you can't see him on here, but that's a look of a man right there that hasn't slept. He's losing the locker room. So right now, will show us who and what Matt Nagy is. If you look on paper, I think the only coach that he hired that's worth a shit is probably DeFlippo or whatever his name is, John DeFlippo. I can't say it. I'm fucking redneck. I remember when people wanted him as a head coach. Chuck Pagano. I mean, you could fire Matt Nagy and let Chuck take over, but I don't like Chuck either. In Chicago, you got to have an asshole. You got to have a guy like Jim Schwartz. You got to have a guy like Jim Harbaugh. A lot of you will not want Jim Harbaugh. You got to keep in mind, in college, I'm from Tennessee. We don't get any of the good recruits. They go to Georgia. We're going to Florida for the longest damn time. We don't get good recruits. So guess what? We're never going to win. Michigan. Look at Michigan. Everybody's going to Oklahoma. Look at all the linemen coming out of Oklahoma. In college, it's really hard to judge, man. I still would love to have a Jim Harbaugh on the sidelines. Oh, yeah. I'd love to have that. But let me ask that question to you. Has Matt Nagy, or will Matt Nagy turn the tides? When he first became a head coach, it was all gravy. All great. Coach of the year. Now in his third season, talking about being fired, losing to Green Bay, being humiliated, having to start over with the quarterback, Ryan Pace breathing down his neck, the McCaskies breathing down his neck. Not only is our team going to have to look in the mirror and make some changes, but that man right there, we're about to find out what kind of coach we have. And I hope we're all saying next year, oh, if he's still here, that we made the right decision. You guys let me know. Chicago Bears rocks.